And I also have this question that people have been also asking. Sometimes I go through comment, I see a lot of comments. Somebody is commented and say, all this man of God, they do content for money's sake. Some of them come into social media for them to make money. So Daddy, I would also like you to share your own view. You coming to social media, I know that this is not you by the grace of God. Okay, sorry. How you're in your ministry? Like, how long have you been in this ministry now?
Okay. By the special grace of God, I've been in this ministry I answered this call at the age of 11 years.
Okay.
So I can tell you that I've been in this ministry for not less than 18 to 20 years.
Wow, that's quite, yes. That's more. That means in this 18 to 20 years, you should have a lot of experiences.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. So what do you think? Or what do you have to tell? What do you have to tell the people, your fans all over the world? Because some people say that many of God now, they are into content creating. They all they want is they come online, they want to make money. They don't care about the ministry of Christ anymore. They don't preach about the body of Christ anymore. All they want is just for them to break through and make money. So what is your own part? What do you have to tell them? What do you have to tell the people, even the young ministers?
Okay. You know, there are people that have such motive. You can't say no. There are people that have motive of using the ministry of God for money's sake. Okay. Like there is a brother called Lucky Udu.
Yes, I know Lucky.
He posted a man of God who took the ministry of God as money, to make money. But when he could not succeed on it, he denied Christ. And when he denied Christ, look at how the life of that young pastor is, so tattered. So when you feel that you can use the ministry of God to make money, you'll be tattered.
Okay.
So when you want to serve God, you serve God in truth and in spirit, your money or your favor comes from God. What I eat today, what I'm sure that I'm okay. But my blessings is not from making of money. I do the work of God from my heart. Then people bless me. God use people to bless me.
Okay, Daddy, let me get you right, sir. You mentioned about Lucky Udu and the man of God.
Exactly.
I think that pastor I've served in Dunamis, according to the man's because I've watched in that video.
Yes.
And there is a comment that Lucky Udu dropped, because this video now I'm going to share it for you to go viral in your own part of view, because you mentioned this thing now, so we're going to talk it once and for all. Okay. Sir, you mentioned about this man of God, and Lucky Udu have been asking a question. Yeah. This man of God came online after he said that you have been in the ministry for over 20 years now. Yeah. And then he denied Christ. He said that God doesn't exist anymore. Now,
what
before
exactly happened to you? Why don't you believe that God exists anymore?
Yeah, it's a long story. I was a pastor for 20 years. Cumulatively, I had pastored in different churches and denominations. I think we should take a walk, because the story is long. We can't just sit here and just keep talking. I had pastored in Assemblies of God, and we are part of those that pioneered the Assemblies of God in Lantern North, Pigani, and also I had pastored in Glorious Church Assembly. We had our branch here in FCT, and also from there I pastored in Dunamis Church, cumulatively 10 years within Dunamis Church.
What exactly happened to you? You were a pastor for 20 years. Yeah. What did you experience that make you stop believing that God does not exist?
Yes, a lot. Of course, reading the Bible, I saw a whole lot of story that never added up. And beside the story in the Bible, personal experience.
Can you tell us some of those stories you saw in the Bible that didn't make sense to you, that made you believe that God does not exist?
Okay, if you look at the story of creation, how God created man, it doesn't add up. Like we are talking behind the camera, if God created man, who created God? And if you look at the whole narrative on how God had to kill some people because they offended him or they offended his people, all of that doesn't show love and empathy. So for me, and if you look at that also, like I always tell people, the story that happened in the Bible is just within the Bible.
What do you have to tell this man, and what is your own view in this? Because I believe you've watched this, you've watched Lokiudu interviewing the pastor
Yeah.
that have been in the ministry for more than 20 years, and along the line he said that Christ doesn't exist anymore. What do you have to tell the views? Because this video right now, I'll make sure that this video go viral, even for the man himself to watch this video, this interview that is happening now. If you have any word of encouragement, if you have something to tell him, if you have a testimony, because I believe in my own, though I won't say that God doesn't exist on my own side, but sincerely, what do you have to tell your fans, and also a message to Lokiudu to the man? Because he said any man of God that can help this man, that can have something to say, that is always open and available to hear your own part of story or your own advice to the man. So sir, please, can you?
Okay, actually, one can be with God at the same time fall out. But the Bible says that man shall fall 7 times and rise 7 times. He still has an opportunity to still come back to God.
Okay.
Difficulties, pressure of life can make you lie against your fellow human being, one of God. Pains of what you are passing through can make you say all kinds of things against your fellow human being. Then, before we talk about God, I've seen a lot of people saying that God does not exist. It is out of their experience. Now, when you are called by God, that's what the Bible says, many are called but few are choosing. When you are called and chosen by God, you don't need any doubt. You don't need any doubt to say that God does not exist. If God does not exist, there are many kinds of miracles. I've gone to hospitals. It's not by my power, it's not by mind. I've prayed for people in the hospital. God delivered them. Unique, in one of your this with me, your movement with me, with your eye, you saw when I prayed for a mad person and the memory was restored. Is not God's miracle? God have used me to do many kinds of things. So why can I say God does not exist? If that man says God does not exist, that he has not done anything for God. Because if actually serve God in truth and in spirit, there are many things that God will use you to do that will convince you that truly I am called and truly God exists. He have not served God from his depth of his heart, because if you serve God for the depth of his house, there are miracles that God will use him to do that will make him understand that God exists, God remains God. So he have the mentality, there are people that just enter the ministry and say, money there for you. I watch Apostle Suleiman, the dash a moto. I watch Paul Eneche. I watch people because he talked about Paul Eneche. You see, in this ministry, he said he has worked with Paul Eneche. So there are favors that God will give to Paul Eneche, and he's praying to be like that. So when he tried to be like that and he could not, does not mean that God does not exist. Paul Eneche, all these people have history. They pass through pains. All these great men of God pass through pains, and they still remain waiting for God's time. Now God has blessed them. It's as if they didn't suffer. Like me today, I know what I've passed through to be this level I am. I know pains. I didn't have mother, I didn't have father, I didn't have any encourager, no spiritual father. But I still believe that tomorrow there is something that God will do. It's the only one I have. I continue pushing it today. I have been a man that people will love to hear my voice. I've been a man that people will pay flights, travel from far and come to see me. So what I'm telling this young man is, let him return to God if truly that God called him. If he doesn't have the call of God in him, if he has any handwork he has, he should go back to that handwork and still look unto God. Because I have an elder in my church. Sometimes prophecy will deceive you. This calling we are talking about has many kinds of categories of calling. There are people that are called to be a teacher. Sunday school teacher is also calling. Ushering work in the church is also calling. There are evangelists, it's also calling. So when don't have it in your mindset that when somebody have a revelation or vision and say you are called by God, then you notice that I am a pastor, I am a priest. If you are called, look for the area where you are called, just occupy it. I have an elder in the church that called